But first, I wanted to say Happy Diwali.
Thank you, Masha. Thanks a
You're
lot.
welcome.
Same to you. And you know what this show's all about. Like I mentioned to you the other day on the call, it's for the Delhi Airtel half marathon. It's the virtual knowledge hub, active hub, and you're being presented by Be Conscious. And we love having you on as a life coach. Let me tell everybody here that Masha is a very old friend of mine. She's a very dear. I've known her for how many years? Over 20 years?
Yeah, a little bit less than that. We
You
are
know,
not that old. At 50, we are still spring chickens, aren't we, Gamzi? We
yeah,
never get old. I think it was 15 years. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's 15 years.
So I'm sure you're going to share some amazing knowledge with us today because, like I said, Masha is a life coach. She's a very successful entrepreneur. Uh, she studied law extensively. She manages startups. She has 3 companies of her own. She's a very enterprising woman, and she's also certified by Reebok, and and also by Precision Nutrition. Now, how many things can you do
Yes.
in one lifetime?
I just have, I'm how Marie Forleo says it very well. I am multi-passionate entrepreneur.
Oh,
So there is no limit. I mean, I just want to gather knowledge and share it and help people.
mhm.
And I love starting new things. So I probably that's why so many ideas
So
started to
basically, you're like a
grow. And
sponge. You're like a sponge.
yes, I love trying new
Absorb
things.
and
And
absorb and absorb,
yes.
and then impart and impart and impart more knowledge.
Yes, and certain things you do for business because it's obviously very lucrative, and then certain things you do from your heart. So anything considering health, beauty, and personal growth, this is coming from my heart. This is my passion. And then, everything else as being startups, or I had a chain of restaurants, this would be more like from a business perspective, what would work, in certain time and certain
Absolutely,
location. So, yeah.
absolutely. I didn't add that you're also a marathoner, and
Oh, yeah,
very
very
interesting
passionate
for this.
one.
And this is very interesting for this vertical because this vertical is all about the marathon. I mean,
Perfect.
it's a half marathon. And when I spoke to you the other day on the phone, you said you've run marathons all over the world. I was like, oh my
Yes.
God, Masha, this is going to be a great talk because it fits like a glove. And
Perfect. I'm excited if I can share anything that would help any newbie or even a new runner. I've done around 35 marathons and then, other races.
25 marathons.
Yes.
So
So
can you tell us
I
more
can
about them?
definitely
You went to Rome, you did it in France, where else?
New York, Berlin, Amsterdam, all over Spain and France, Prague, Bratislava, Berlin, Amsterdam, Stockholm. There are so many. And, then I repeated some of them. So, the ones that you really love, you want to come back. And I've done a lot
25
of half
marathons.
marathons as well.
That's a lot of marathons. I mean, I don't think many people in this world, many of them, whoever I've met, they want to do just one. And then it's like the bucket list. I've done a marathon. I've done 42 kilometers, the full marathon, or they want to do the half marathon. And that's it. So that's part of the bucket list. You run 35 marathons. So this obviously stems from a lot of passion, like you said.
Yes. It becomes, probably a lot of runners that are watching now this show will agree that running becomes addictive. And once you start, and the first achievement, after finishing your first marathon, it becomes such a great sense of accomplishment and fulfillment that you just want to get better and better. And it becomes like a passion and it becomes a lifestyle, actually. So that's a great thing about it.
But I mean, I was reading a couple of things of the running industry. The kind of mental discipline and the kind of structure, and when your body has to be first of all prepared to go through that ordeal. So you also have to merge your mental strength with your physical strength, and that requires a lot of discipline and structure and willpower. And right, so how did you exercise your determination, your willpower to do this? Do you remember your first marathon?
Yeah, first one, it was tough. I mean, I cried for the last 2 kilometers. I couldn't do it anymore because, I mean, when you hit a wall probably happens. If you're a well-prepared marathoner, you're going to hit a wall around 30, 35 kilometers.
Oh, really?
And it's going to happen because your glycogen is so depleted that you basically are, you are exhausted. You become exhausted. You can't run anymore. Your legs don't want to move.
Yes.
So what marathoners, we say, first 20 kilometers, you run with your legs, right?
Okay.
Then the next 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, you run with your mind. You know you can do it. You want to do it. That's just mind. You're basically having a conversation with your mind and you're telling yourself, you can do it, right? You trained, you are prepared, and you want to do it. The last 5 or 7 kilometers, it's pure heart. It's very emotional. You run and you don't know how you do it. Your legs, I mean, I was crying and I wouldn't stop.
Really?
And everything was painful. I mean, your eyelashes are painful. I mean, I'm joking, but everything, especially the first one, everything is painful.
It's like having an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the best analogy.
Because I think somewhere down the line, the way you're explaining the last 5 km, I think your soul has got to be able to endure that level of pain and that stress. The body goes to stress and your muscles plateau. And like you said, you need glycogen reserves to kick in, and you got to keep hydrating yourself. But how did you prepare? I mean, say how much in advance did you start training for the 42-kilometer ordeal?
So the first, I would always suggest to every newbie to start small, right? You have to walk before you run.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. So you try first 5K race, 8K race, 10K race, and then, half marathon. It's a great way to start, to see what actually this distance is all about, because pardon my French, even first half marathon can be a bitch, pardon my French. It's tough. So,
I like French people and I like French. So you can go on saying whatever you want in French.
Oh, so, I remember my first half marathon at 16 kilometers, I was kind of struggling. So I knew, okay, there's a long way to go, because when I do the whole thing, I can allow myself to start to struggle at 30, 35 kilometers. So you have to be well prepared. I would suggest minimum 6 months in advance. Yeah, minimum every week, program training. It's good to have an app for that, or talk to like a personal trainer or someone.
Did you have someone to help you through the whole?
Yes,
guide you,
I
like
had.
Professional sports medicine doctor or some athlete?
I had a wonderful person that was a Spanish champion in different Ironman competitions. So it was a triathlete, was a beast of a man. And he trained me to progress gradually, because you can't just run for 6 months. I hope I don't discourage anyone. Everybody's different, so if you have trained for 6 months, you can still do a marathon. But if I can give an advice, I would say, you need a little bit more if you're a newcomer than 6 months. Later, after you do one, then it's no problem. The first one is a tough one.
And what was your diet like? I mean, as you progressed in the marathons, since you've done 35 of them, did your diet change? Because we also grow older and we need more protein. And like a sedentary woman needs 45 grams of protein minimum per day. A sedentary man needs 55 grams. But an athlete needs like probably 2 grams per pound of body weight, according to your stress levels, and you go up and down. So how did your diet change according to the instructor?
That's a very interesting question, and I know that we are all different. We all have a different body chemistry and body, you know, everything, how our bodies are different. So what happened in my case, I mean, for every marathon runner, for every runner, I would say carbohydrates are your best friend,
Absolutely.
right? This is the energy. You're going to run on carbohydrates. You're going to need protein to repair your muscles and broken muscle fibers,
Yes.
but you're going to run on your carbohydrates, on your glycogen.
Good fats.
So,
Right.
and good fats. So I would say hydration, carbohydrates, protein, and good healthy fats, but focus on carbohydrates. So what I would do, which worked for me wonders, Kamsi, was the 10 days before a marathon, first 5 days, I would not have any carbohydrates at all. So I would deplete my carbohydrate reserve.
Okay.
And then I would carb load for the last 5 days.
Right.
I mean, everybody probably knows about that, but you know, it's a
you'd be
known
surprised.
term.
A lot of people who I know have no idea, and it's really great you're talking about this, because, like I said, the show is all about spreading knowledge. So a lot of people want to go and do these crazy athletic, races like the marathon and stuff, but they have no idea on how to load carb. What is carb loading? Like we just said, glycogen reserves, the amount of protein you need, the understanding your skeletal muscle tissue, ergogenic supplements. There's so much that goes behind all this. So what happens? We keep hearing of fatalities that happen during marathon races. People collapse because they don't know what you're saying. What you're saying is so right. It's great knowledge. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so people start drinking a lot of like gallons of water 2 days or 1 day before the race. That is not a good idea. You should start hydrating your body on a deep cellular level, a week at least in advance. You know, and I suggest for the last 5 days, drink a lot of fresh squeezed juices and a lot of coconut water because it has so much electrolytes.
Minerals, yes.
And minerals. So, and especially electrolytes when you sweat. I mean, hats down to everyone that's going to run in Delhi. I know India, I mean, I lived in India, so India is a very hot country.
Yes,
Dehydration is a problem, is going to be a problem. So everybody needs to start the hydration process a week before. And then 5 days, so 10 days start the regimen, 5 days no carbs, just focus on vegetables and protein. And then 5 days before the race, start loading on carbs. You have to completely fill your glycogen stores.
Stuff like that. You can have up to 200 to 300 grams of carbs every, what they say. I mean, you've got to do so much of carb loading, like to, keep the energy going. And carbohydrate is a very interesting word, actually. It's a big word. So carb is carbon, hydra is hydrogen, and 8 is oxygen. So it's a very beautiful word, which if people understand the relation, why the word is such a huge, it makes sort of sense what goes behind the word. But tell me, Masha, I know you're vegan now. You're absolutely vegan.
Yes.
But even that time, were you vegan? Because when I knew in Bombay, I used to say, my God, this girl doesn't eat. She was, for everybody listening in, this girl was very fit even then. And she was a fruitarian. She once was driving with us from Bandra to town, and we were having this lovely conversation.
I remember.
She was only eating fruit in the car. I said, eat something. No, I'm a fruitarian. So when did you turn vegan? How long has it been?
So it has been almost 8 years now.
Wow.
Being 100% plant-based, 100% vegan diet. And very interesting, when I switched to vegan diet, I could train every day. I could have a long run every week. And before that was not possible because my body needed so much more time to repair the muscle tissue. And because we are always, you think vegans, where do they get their protein from? How do they recover? It's probably another subject for another video. But what I would like to stress out that plant-based nutrition is non-acidic. It's
Yeah,
non-inflammatory to your body. So my
absolutely.
body was suddenly uh,
And it's
functioning better in every possible way.
right.
So my time without any extra training, my marathon time would go down for 30 minutes. So that
Really?
was just amazing. Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying, it's also a myth. Am I right? Is it a myth if you're just non-veg? You have to be non-veg to be a great athlete. So what do you think of that entire, you know, dialogue? And do you have to be? You don't have to be non-veg. That's what you're saying. You can be vegan.
No,
You can be
it's actually
vegetarian, and you
it's
can still.
actually yes, you're actually doing yourself, your body a favor. And about protein, we predominantly, that's how we were taught, right? We get the protein
Yes.
from animal products, right? From meat, cheese, eggs, and fish, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
seafood. But we forget that the biggest and the strongest land animals
I'll
are
bet.
plant eaters. So
And
we are basically doing intermediary, what they are getting as a protein for plants, we are getting in another form that's so hard for our body to process and digest.
correct.
So when you are going directly to plants, you're just, going straight to the source. So
Wow.
it's just, for me, I was researching it for a year before I decided. And it was the best decision I've ever made. But
That's
I
awesome. That's really
understand
awesome.
that it's very difficult. It's not for
I
everyone.
hope people are listening in and listening to our expert here talking about the advantages of being vegan. I mean, I'm not vegan, but I have a long way to go where you're concerned. I might never reach that stage in my life, in this life at least. But I like what you said because it keeps you alkaline. It keeps your acid alkaline levels balanced, your
Yes.
pH levels in check, and it's the best way to go. So your skin glows, your energy levels soar. You look as pretty as Masha. You have Masha's energy
Thank
level. Your
you.
brain functions better, right? And you get more
Yes.
structure in your life.
Yeah,
Masha,
I do.
what about you've been a you are a serial entrepreneur. Uh,
Yes.
what advice can you give startups and say what's the attitude one should have in today's really trying difficult times where we have COVID now and people have lost their jobs and people have lost money in their business and they're trying to restructure things, but stress levels have taken a toll. I'm talking to you as now as a life coach as well as an entrepreneur who could probably guide youngsters as well as people all over the world on how should one train that mindset to beat this.
Okay, so very good question, Gamzi. Thank you. So everything, I know this is very challenging for all of us, in all over the globe. We have never experienced anything like it. So it's very hard. I understand it's very hard for people who lost their jobs. They are stuck at home to have an amazing and positive perspective. But it's all about having a perspective. And this is the power is all in you. So think about where the focus goes, energy flows. This is a famous saying from Tony Robbins, the biggest life coach,
Yes,
in the
and you
world.
worked with him or you studied with him.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. I had the privilege to study with him for years. So basically, there is always an opportunity, and there is always opportunity for growth,
Mhm.
and always there is. So basically, people can move their entire businesses online. I mean, you're a great example how you are especially flourishing now with
Yes,
being able to connect with so many more people online.
that's true. Yes.
So it's there is always, and just keep positive and have a routine. So when you're at home and the day is so long,
Yeah.
it's very important to establish morning routine
Mhm.
and set your goals every day, meditate, exercise, and just set yourself for success. Affirmations, I recommend Miracle Morning or
Good morning. I like that.
oh yeah, you like that
No, no,
book?
I don't know about it. You can explain to me what
Or Miracle Morning or 5 a.m. Club. So basically, it doesn't need to necessarily be 5 a.m., but to maybe
Oh,
wake up an hour before and just set your day for success. And it doesn't need to be a long list of tasks, but you have to maybe just set 3 things you want to do today and
uh-huh.
just do it and focus and do it. And it just one step at a time. And you're here in this particular time because you've chosen to be here. I mean, Indians believe in reincarnation.
Yes,
I also believe in that. And we are all here to
right.
heal the world. And we have chosen to be in this time. So we are all capable and strong enough to, to overcome this.
So what
And
you're
you're
saying,
all great and you can do
uh,
it.
what you're saying is the reason we are here at this time, this moment, and also you are stressing on the three, as I say, points. If you do 3 points, you pick on every day. You're talking about goal setting. Am I right?
Yes.
Like goal setting,
Yes.
you set goals, you set targets, and then you have to. Because a lot of people who set goals, but they don't have the willpower or the discipline to implement the goals. So they don't start walking towards the goals. They don't start making a game plan towards the goals. As is very well said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So,
Absolutely.
so you feel that structure, setting goals can make a huge difference in one's life.
Yes, and it's one goal at a time, and it's all about decisions. If you think about it, it's that moment of decision because people are coming to me and they're asking me these days a lot about how can I stop procrastinating? Procrastination is a habit. So
Right.
you have to change your habits.
Yes.
And it's going to take minimum 21 days to
Yeah.
successfully change a habit. You
Correct.
know that, right?
Yes.
So it takes time, but when you have the will, where is the will, there is the way as well. So everything can be done. This is also a time of great opportunities.
Mhm.
And we are the ones who need to bring light back into this planet. So I think we are all here for a reason and with the purpose. You have to just find your purpose and live that.
Absolutely. Wow. This has been really, really great. And what about anything else you'd like to share with us about life coaching and anything else? Okay, what's the most common question your clients ask you? I mean, is it always about money, or is it about spiritual growth, or is it about, like what you just explained to us? Is it about inculcating a new healthy habit, or how to restructure their lives in terms of professional life, or personal life, or marital life, or whatever life? So what's the most common?
So it's interesting how people are now more and more looking for their purpose now,
Mhm.
because suddenly, we have been years on autopilot. You have kids to take care of and job to do and cooking and cleaning and all this and, chores that we do. And now
Mhm.
suddenly you're left at home with so much time and people are asking themselves, why I'm really here for. What is the reason? What's my purpose? So I'm actually working on an online program on finding your personal purpose, unlocking your life's potential, and just living your truth.
So we
So
got to do
this
a
is
master
one of
class.
the biggest ones.
We can start
Sorry,
doing a master class. Our next talks will be the master class in that. Like I,
that would be wonderful.
yeah,
That
so
would be
we
wonderful.
can start planning that. So whenever you have that ready, we can start sharing some notes and taking that forward to the world.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the second one, if I may add, is relationships.
Uh-huh.
People are, people who come and they are deeply depressed,
Yeah.
it always has to do something with the quality of their relationships, and
That's
they
so,
think it's work, but at the end, it turns out to
that's
be
so true.
something with
Relationships.
their relationships.
It could be husband, wife. It could be
Could be
yeah,
family.
it could be professional relationship in the office. It could
Yes.
be friction in the office, competitive world. The world's so competitive nowadays. It could be anything. You're right.
Yes.
Relationships, I think, are. hold a lot of weight when it comes to your emotions, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And I think quality of your life, first, you have to be healthy, right? I mean, you would agree with me. The
Yes,
first
of
one that
course.
would agree. First, you have to be healthy to have a quality life. And then the
Yes.
second place, it's your relationships.
Because health is the biggest wealth. It is.
Exactly.
Health is, if you don't
Absolutely
have
agree.
health, then you can make all the money you want in the world, but you can't enjoy your wealth. So
Absolutely.
you got to go ahead, mind, body connect, as you say, right? So
Yes.
mind, body, soul. So coming back to your course with precision nutrition, can you tell us a bit about that?
So basically, it's a degree in nutrition, and it's designed. So I'm basically a health and lifestyle coach. It focuses on holistic approach because they basically are talking about the concept of a deep health. Deep health is not only eating right and exercising. It's
Okay.
about the rest. So it's eat, rest, move, sleep, right? It's your social life. It's your environment. It's your relationships. It's your work. All this is combined in your quality of your lifestyle, or what is they call deep
Correct.
health.
Correct.
So it's a very interesting concept how to holistically approach the quality of your life.
Great. So fantastic, Masha. I think it was a fabulous talk. Thank you so much for being with us. And I need to know a lot more from you, and so does everyone else who's going to be logging in. I'm going to be messaging you though after this call goes down. So get
Yeah,
ready for
perfect.
questions. And it was
Thank you so much. Thank you
awesome.
so much for inviting me.
Thank
Namaste to
you.
everyone in India.
Namaste.
Happy Diwali. I
Happy
love you.
Diwali.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
It
Take
was
care.
my pleasure. Bye bye.
Bye, Masha. See you. Thank you.
See you. Bye.